What turns him on to you? It's not just attraction, it's connection. And science shows that connection has predictable roots. Today, we'll explore what research reveals, not myths, not guesses. We'll focus on him, adult heterosexual men, as studied in controlled settings. Why? Because attraction is not random. It's shaped by biology, psychology, and culture. And understanding this helps build authentic, lasting bonds. Let's begin with the foundation, the 3 layers of arousal. Layer 1, sensory triggers, what the senses detect instantly. Layer 2, cognitive appraisal, how the brain interprets those signals. Layer 3, emotional resonance, whether the interaction feels safe and meaningful. All 3 must align for sustained attraction, not just a fleeting spark. Now, let's examine what research identifies in each layer. First, sensory triggers. Vision dominates initial response in most men. Studies using eye tracking and fMRI show rapid attention to facial symmetry and waist-to-hip ratio. But crucially, not because of arbitrary beauty standards. These features correlate, on average, with indicators of health and fertility. A 2020 meta-analysis of over 15,000 participants confirmed this cross-culturally. Yet visual cues alone fade fast without deeper engagement. Which brings us to scent. Human pheromone research remains debated. But consensus confirms body odor signals immune compatibility. In controlled experiments, men rate women's scents as more attractive when their MHC genes differ. Why? Greater genetic diversity in offspring means stronger immunity. This isn't about perfume. It's about natural compatibility. Now, voice and movement. Low-pitched. Calm speech signals confidence. Fluid, open gestures, not forced, reflect psychological ease. But here's the key. These signals only amplify attraction when they feel genuine. Which moves us to layer 2, cognitive appraisal. The brain asks, is she interested? Is she safe? Is she like me? Reciprocity is essential. Eye contact, mirroring, smiling. These signal mutual interest. A landmark study showed men's testosterone rises only when a woman's interest is clear and sustained. No reciprocity. Arousal drops, even with strong physical attraction. Then there's similarity. Not identical backgrounds, but shared values. Meta-analyses consistently find value alignment predicts long-term attraction more than looks. Kindness, honesty, ambition. These traits activate reward circuits more than novelty alone. Which leads us to the most powerful layer, emotional resonance. Neuroimaging shows that romantic attraction lights up brain regions linked to safety, not just desire. The ventromedial prefrontal cortex, involved in trust, activates early in mutual attraction. In other words, he's turned on when he feels emotionally secure with you. Not dominance, not performance, security. A 2022 longitudinal study tracked couples for 3 years. The strongest predictor of maintained sexual desire in men. Feeling understood and respected. Not frequency of sex, not physical changes. Émotionnel attunement. So, to summarize the foundation. He's turned on to you when sensory signals, cognitive alignment, and emotional safety converge. Now, let's go deeper into the mechanisms behind these patterns. First, the role of oxytocin and vasopressin, the bonding hormones. In men, vasopressin, not just oxytocin, drives pair bonding behavior. Animal and human studies show vasopressin release increases with shared positive experiences. Laughter, collaboration, even cooking together. These boost bonding neurochemistry. And crucially, touch is catalytic, but only when consensual and relaxed. A light touch on the arm during conversation can raise vasopressin, but only if trust exists. Forced or premature touch has the opposite effect, increasing cortisol, the stress hormone. Second, the impact of autonomy and respect. Men report higher sexual desire when they feel their agency is honored. Not control, agency. The ability to choose, to express, to be heard. A WHO-supported study across 12 countries found this pattern consistently. When men feel micromanaged or judged, sexual interest declines, even in loving relationships. Third, novelty versus familiarity, a delicate balance. Dopamine drives attraction to novelty, new experiences, surprises. But oxytocin and vasopressin require predictability, reliability, consistency. The most sexually satisfying couples balance both. Familiar rituals, like shared morning coffee, build safety. Occasional novelty, like a spontaneous trip, renews excitement. Neither alone is enough. It's the rhythm between them that sustains desire. Now, let's address a common myth. He's only turned on by physical appearance. Evidence refutes this. In long-term relationships, non-physical traits dominate. A 10-year study published in Archives of Sexual Behavior tracked over 2,000 couples. After 2 years, physical attraction predicted less than 10% of sexual satisfaction variance. Emotional intimacy, communication quality, and shared humor predicted over 60%. This doesn't diminish physical attraction, it contextualizes it. The body responds to the meaning behind the person, not just the surface. Another key factor, stress and metabolic health. Chronic stress lowers testosterone and dopamine, directly reducing sexual responsiveness. Sleep deprivation, poor glucose control, and inflammation impair arousal pathways. So when a man feels chronically fatigued or overwhelmed, attraction fades, not from lack of care. From neurobiological exhaustion. Recovery requires systemic support, not just willpower. This is why emotional safety is so vital. It lowers physiological stress. Feeling accepted, not judged, shifts the nervous system toward openness. Now, let's shift to application. What does this mean in daily life? First, prioritize presence over performance. Men consistently report that feeling seen, listened to without interruption, increases attraction. Not fixing problems, not advising, just attentive witnessing. Second, embrace authentic reciprocity. Initiate touch, eye contact, or affection not as scripts, but as genuine impulses. Reciprocity isn't obligation, it's mutual vulnerability. Third, co-create safety through consistency. Small, reliable actions, remembering preferences, honoring boundaries, build trust over time. And trust is the bedrock of sustained desire. Fourth, allow space for his expression. When men feel free to share fears, doubts, or joy without fear of ridicule, intimacy deepens. This is especially vital in cultures where emotional expression is discouraged. manage shared stressors together. Financial pressure, health issues, work stress. These are relational, not individual, challenges. Approaching them as a team, not adversaries, preserves connection. Remember, desire thrives in partnership, not performance. Now, let's consider cultural nuance, especially in Arab societies. Research shows collectivist values emphasize respect, family harmony, and dignity. In Egypt and similar contexts, men often link attraction to muru'ah, moral integrity, and responsibility. A woman who embodies iffah, self-respect and principled conduct, signals long-term reliability. This isn't about restriction. It's about trustworthiness in a complex social world. Also, humor. Shared laughter is a universal bonding tool. Egyptian couples who report high marital satisfaction often cite light, respectful teasing as key. Not mockery, playful rapport that affirms connection. So attraction isn't Western or Eastern. It's human, expressed through cultural lenses. Now, implications. What does this mean for relationships today? First, social media distorts attraction. And the scrolling creates comparaison fatigue glaring, satisfaction with real partners. Limiting exposure to idealized imagery helps recalibrate expectations. Second, medical conditions matter. Diabetes, obesity, depression, these alter neurochemistry and vascular health. Addressing them isn't vanity, it's foundational to intimacy. Third, aging changes attraction, but not necessarily desire. Testosterone declines gradually after 30, about 1% per year. Yet studies show men in their 50s and 60s report high sexual satisfaction when emotional intimacy is strong. Desire evolves from urgency to depth. So, the takeaway. What turns him on to you is not performance, it's presence. Not perfection, it's authenticity. Not conquest, it's connection. Now, how can you apply this? Start small. Today, offer sincere appreciation, specific and timely. Notice effort, not just outcomes. I saw how patiently you handled that call. Second, create one moment of shared calm. No phones, no agenda. Even 5 minutes of quiet companionship lowers stress hormones for both. Third, check in. Not are you okay? But what's weighing on you this week? Open-ended, low-pressure questions invite deeper sharing. These aren't grand gestures. They're daily choices that build intimacy. And intimacy, not intensity, is what sustains attraction over time. If you'd like to learn more, we recommend peer-reviewed resources. The Journal of Sex Research, Archives of Sexual Behavior, and WHO's Sexual Health Guidelines. Also, consider couples communication workshops grounded in evidence, not opinion. Knowledge empowers. Understanding builds bridges. If this video helped clarify misconceptions, please subscribe for more science-backed content. And share it. Accurate information on human connection is too valuable to keep private. Thank you for watching with curiosity, respect, and a commitment to truth. Because love, at its best, is both deeply human and beautifully rational. See you in the next video. And screen with suggested videos and subscription button.